Hello, everybody. This is Eleni
Hey,
and
Marcus.
Marcus. Yay.
Yay.
And we've started this new series called Channeling Wisdom with Ameed,
Mm.
because Marcus has this extraordinary gift where he is able to channel a higher dimensional being. And we need to bring the wisdom during this time more than ever to the rest of you. So we would
Yeah.
love to hear your comments, and please subscribe to this channel because you'd be seeing this every single week where we've got something different to offer. And Marcus doesn't know what the question is until I actually ask it. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know what the question is. Last week I had intended to ask something else and something else popped out of my mouth altogether.
That's
So,
funny.
so the way that you described it, Marcus, last week was that when you come out of it, it's almost like you wake up from a dream where you sort of remember little
A
bits,
little
and
bit. Yeah.
the time goes, the less you remember.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting
Absolutely like that.
because there's so much clarity and you're so articulate when you're channeling Ameed. So it's so interesting that, Marcus, the expression of Marcus doesn't actually hear or consciously be aware, though you do feel the energy of Ameed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how does it feel for you once you go there? What's the process of you actually connecting?
Oh, look, it's just feeling into it, starting to connect into it. So as we stand here now, the energy is getting more and more intense. So I can feel it around me, and it's just starting to get a bit more intense. And it's a bit like pins, goosebumps, and yeah, it gets me to feel like I'm almost that sort of apprehensive feeling, but not apprehensive, like before you go on stage, but not really like that. It's
Okay.
sort of like that, but I can just feel the energy around, and especially at the moment because our off-world friends are really wanting to come in now. So I can just feel the energy building is probably what I can feel.
And do you
Yeah,
feel that your heart chakra opens up as the energy is building?
not
Or is
necessarily.
it
I just think it all opens. It just all sort of opens up.
awesome?
There's not thing in particular, really. It's just, but I can just feel the energy around, and you can
Beautiful.
feel it
One
there.
more question before you get into it is,
Yeah.
you, Marcus, is with this energy building around you, do you ever experience that? I know you did to begin with, but now, like, when you go, with your day-to-day life and you don't invite it, do you feel it building around you, almost like they want to speak to you and they want to say
Oh,
something?
yeah, yeah. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, and I've just got to start writing stuff down or typing stuff or drawing things. So sometimes there's a bit of urgency there that happens. Often I'll get woken early in the morning to have that happen if there's something really important. But the more I do this, the less that happens, because
Mm.
it's like I'm allowing it to happen. So there's not that urgency of them shaking me, going, "Come on, we need you to give you this information. You're not listening," type of thing.
Oh, good. So that
But
means you're
when I
getting more
haven't,
sleep.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's a bit more because it's sort of like they know I'm going to do it, so to bring stuff through, and so they relax a little bit and go, okay, we know it's going to happen, so it's okay. But if I didn't, then if I leave it for a few days, then often not urgency, but it's that feeling like it's urgent, like we've got information you need to share, and if you're not consistently sharing it, then we're going to bug you until you do, type of thing. That sort of and they left me alone for many years, only because I pushed it away. That would still come through from time to time, and I'd write stuff, and I'd you know interact with stuff, and so but I pushed it aside for a long time, and now there's no time for that. It's just like, why not?
Absolutely.
And again, you assisted in that. I mean, they started coming through, but then to do this live and stuff,
Well,
you
what a
just won't
blessing. I
doing
just
it.
feel like it's such a blessing that we're able to hear from our off-world friends, and
Yeah.
so blessing to hear their wisdom. So how about we get into it, hey?
Yes, let's do that. Let's get into it. Ah, ah, this is much joy and excitement that we come through in this moment. And we are excited for this question in particular.
Thank you so much for being here. I've actually got two questions today. The first one is, in this year, more than ever, I feel that we've been asked to show up authentically. So to show up as who we really are. And that's quite difficult given the layers of programming that we all have, most of us have anyway. And so how do we show up authentically when so many of us have to deal with so much programming? So who we think we really are is not who we really are. It's our false self or our ego self as opposed to our authentic self. So how do we break through the ego self to show up for who we really are?
This is very much exciting question that gets asked many times in many different ways from many of you. And we wish to share a process that we have learned through the evolution of our existence in this universe, this universe teeming with life. And this is very much the connection to the deeper aspect of who you are, of connecting into the expanded consciousness awareness and the cosmic consciousness that we speak of. We understand that this journey has been one of protection and safety in a universe, in a galaxy, in a star system that has created a duality to support you to experience the fullness of existence. This fullness has created the capturing through ego, as you mentioned, the capturing of the essence of your truth and the fullness of who you are. If we connect in, if we allow ourselves just to drop in and connect in at the Dante and Tara level of existence, we can start to connect in with the depth of who we are. The expression of that light, of that who you are-ness, is the releasing of, the letting go of the expectation of safety and protection, to fall back into the trust of the reality of who you are. If you were to connect in, to drop into this space and allow energy to flow, allow emotions, allow feelings, allow expressions of the fullness of the human experience, if you allow these emotions, these realities just to move and flow through you, then you need not to have the protection that you so often need to connect into. When you realize that everything in this universe, everything in your body, in your mind, in your heart, in your soul is always in emotion, is always flowing in and through you. When you allow this flow to exist, then you don't catch and be captured by any particular emotion, by any particular wounding, by any particular feeling that may then make you want to be protected and to find a space of safety. If you just release and allow flow to appear, you can connect in at this level, at this deep level, and allow yourself to be the expression of who you truly are. This is very much the message that we have journeyed here to share with all of you. The message of the full expression of who you are. This is the core journey to help you to return into the holographic universal matrix, into a universe teeming with life, and back into the light family that you are part of. This is the galactic family, the universal family of light that you existed in, that you exist in now, and that you will return and exist in the future. In this moment, in this now space and time, we would invite you to just release, just to drop in and to feel into the experience of this theme park of existence, and to allow the experience to flow in and through you. It is similar in the nature of reflecting back on a time that you had where you had the fun in a theme park or a experience, where you sit back and you look at the photos, you look at the experience and remember the emotions that you felt. And you may feel that when you went to ride the roller coaster, that you had the apprehension and the fear, but you allowed yourself to overcome that, to step into the roller coaster, and then you experienced the joy, both the joy of the experience itself, but also the joy of overcoming the feeling, the apprehension, the worry and concern, the fear of stepping into your emotion, or in this case, onto the roller coaster. Then this reflection allows you to process, to engage with the flow that you experienced in that moment. So like the reflecting, like the looking back at the experience, in this moment, we would ask you and invite you to do exactly the same thing. Imagine that you are looking at photos of a past experience that is happening in the now moment. To then allow the emotions, the experiences to flow through you, and to realize just how much you have overcome, and that you have stepped through and stepped over, and that in this moment you can do exactly the same thing. You can step into it and look at it as if it has already happened in the past, that you overcame the fear of stepping onto the roller coaster, and that you realize that once you have, you enjoyed and had fun and embraced the excitement, the thrill of this ride. So we would ask that you just drop in to spend a moment in a quietness with the self, to feel the things that you feel, and to practice the releasing of that. The releasing of that is a process of going into the middle of it, not moving away or running away of that such, but to sit in the middle and to go through the center of the emotion. This may initially have you feel it more intensely, but if the intensity is what assists in the flow through, assists in the dissipation of that into the light. For at the end of all of this is you. And when you find that place, you will fall in love with the you. You will then feel free, safe to step fully into this space. For now is the time. Now is the moment that we invite and request you to step into this space. There is a quickening that is appearing, and the quickening is the opening up of this reality for you. There is much invitations for you to step into this so that you remain in a centered, stable space to be able to deal with all of the issues and situations that will appear before you. To remain in the centerpiece of stability, where you can allow the energetics of the emotions and of the feelings to move through you, knowing that you are safe, that you will be able to deal with and cope with anything that appears. You have in the past, you will in the future, you are in the now.
Oh, that was so beautiful, and it really touched me with just the energy of that, with falling into you and into your center and falling in love with you, falling in love with us, who we are, our real selves, our authentic selves, instead of trying to be someone else or matching someone else. So what that was just answered so perfectly and so beautifully that I've just got one last question, which is, what message does this audience need to hear right now from you?
The interesting thing about what we just spoke with is that this is your natural state of being. You have practiced the unnaturality of your existence, and this is a return back to home, back to the natural state of existence. The universe, the planet, the system within which you reside is in a natural state of being. When in that natural state of being, you will recognize a harmonious relationship between the particles of existence. Everything is in a harmonious, stable state. When you find this place, when you come back and home into the self, you will also find a harmonious, natural state of existence, a peace and calm if you understand this, and you will remain in a stable state of being. We have discussed this with your channel many times, that stability is the key focal point for you in this moment as a collective. The more stable you can become, the more you can experience home and experience the self fully. You have designed an environment that has led you to be unstable, to become destabilized, both at a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. Now is the time to come back to the stable state of being, where you will reignite, reconnect, and remember who you truly are. For all of you came here on purpose. This is not the mistake. This is on purpose. You agreed to this reality, and you agreed to come and support and assist in whatever way is the expression of who you are. This is the important things to remember, that the expression of you is the support and help to restabilize all of the existence that you are experiencing in this moment. And just expressing that stable you, that fullness of you, is the reharmonizing, the reunification of all of the existence in this moment. You have the opportunity to come home, to reconnect with and remember you. There is nothing more exciting and beautiful for this interconnected conversation than connecting and finding you. But we understand, for some, this is an overwhelming experience, and it is okay to feel that overwhelm. You see, if you make not the okayness of emotions and experience that you wish not to journey through, then you also block the other experiences. If you cannot experience sadness, it is hard to experience happiness. If you want to experience the fullness of who you are, you have to have a relationship with everything that is not that. Then you can powerfully connect in and choose. When you are in a stable state, you get the opportunity to choose. When you are destabilized or unstable, then the choice is taken away from you, and you are going to be moved with whatever energy that appears. When you drop in and center and become stable, then you get the opportunity to choose. And this stable that we discuss is not the opportunity to be this when things are on the good side of the pendulum, but rather at any opportunity, at any time on the pendulum. If you can practice the stability when things are perceived to not be in the goodness of your desire, then will you be able to experience the pendulum on the goodness of your desires. This is the key to you fully embracing who you are. Then you may share what we have discussed as your brightness, is your magic, as your ignition piece. Each of you have been gifted with an ignition piece. This ignition piece is your fullness, is who you are. And what it allows to happen is that it then ignites others next to you. There is a spark of light that gets transferred from one being to another. And when this is activated, then all may bathe in, feel into the expression of who you are, who they are, who they are, who they are. There is a cascading effect. So we would invite you to connect into that spark by connecting into the stability of the pendulum, regardless of where the pendulum sits at any one given moment. The spark is always there. It never leaves you, never leaves your experience. It is always there. You can connect into it at any stage. Just remember, just to bring back the stability in both the darkness and in the light. Allow that spark to be present within you so that you can spark your whole environment. This will help to lighten, both lighten the emotion, lighten the thoughts, but also light you up. The brightness will be then allowed to shine through. This becomes this becomes contagious and will spread. The more stable you become, regardless, the more the light spark shines, and the more contagious this becomes. This is why when we come to speak, we will only speak of the energy we wish to see ignited and spread throughout you and your kind. This is our message. This is our journey to support and assist you to fully embrace, step into, and be activated on this, your planet. This is the journey we are here to share with you.
Wow, thank you so much. That message was really, really felt at my core, and I know the people listening will feel the same. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your guidance, and yeah, I'm just in deep appreciation. Thank you so much.
And we are likewise excited for the opportunity to share and to speak with you, to interact at a co-creative, collaborative, connected space. This is the journey of the universal family, and we wish to welcome you back when you fully embrace, fully step into this space and connect in at the level of the fullness of who you are. You will automatically connect back into the family of a universe teeming with life. We are here together to expand the universe, to expand the reality of this universe. And we are here to support and assist each other to do such. We welcome this interaction, and we send gifts of love and gratitude and joy and happiness for this moment.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hi, are you okay?
Hi. Yeah, I'm
I
okay.
just thought it would be really nice to just talk about a couple of the concepts
Okay.
that you channeled through.
Okay.
I think that's a good format to do is, I kept the questions shorter, but that way we have time to discuss what was said at the end. And, one of the things that you channeled through was that what's really, really, because I asked the question about how do we be authentic when there is so many programming, so much programming going on with ego and so on. And, the response was really, we need to just drop back into ourselves, to our center. And during times of destabilization, when things are going on around us that destabilize us, that's the time that we need to really drop in and not ignore the feeling that's coming through, the sadness, the hurt, the anger, but really sit in it so that it can move through us. Because without experiencing sadness, or what was said is we can't experience joy. And so many of us, we want to get rid of sadness. We want to get rid of anger. It's like, I feel frustrated. Why do I feel frustrated? Like, stop it. Let's do something else. But it's all about dropping into everything that we are experiencing so that we can then drop into our real selves, because that's what we're here to do, is be the truest expression of who we are, which I feel is almost, this is why I asked this question. I really feel authenticity is what we're all being asked to step into this year.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think there's a lot of holding on to stuff. I think my understanding, my thoughts sometimes of it is when you capture any of those things, it's not the emotion or the thing that appears, it's how we capture the thing that appears, and then we ruminate over it. We don't let it go. We don't let it flow. We don't take the lessons from it. And I don't know, we just battle with it, and I get that you know, people are going through all sorts of stuff, you know, depression and fear and anguish and nervousness and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And especially now it seems to be pretty high. And so, you know, I get when you're caught in that, it can be hard to just, you know, move through it. But I think, yeah, a message that's come through a lot for me is that centerpiece, you know, going into it and not running away from it, as horrible and hard as it might be sometimes.
Yeah. And
Um,
once you start doing that, it seems hard to begin with. But once you get
yeah,
into the practice of doing that, like anything, it actually gets easier and easier. Like
yeah,
sometimes if you have this, I know that about 2 weeks ago, I had this overwhelming feeling of sadness, which
right.
had no specific reason.
Yeah,
I couldn't point to why, but I just realized that this emotion needed to go through my body.
yeah.
And I just needed to sit with it and cry. And I didn't know
Mm,
why I was crying these tears of
mm,
sadness.
right.
And I tell you, the next day was like the new dawn. It was just like, because I allowed that process, I allowed the
Yeah,
feeling to
yeah,
flow through me. I didn't stop it with busyness or distractions or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
annoyance, but actually honoring it. Like
Mm.
really honoring, wow, there's some emotion that needs to, it's a sacred emotion that needs to flow through the body.
I think
And
that's an
once,
interesting word, what you just said, sacred emotion. Maybe they're all sacred.
mm,
Maybe if we treated it like that, we'd treat it differently.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think anyone listening, you know, you just be gentle with yourself, you know, whatever message you heard today or whatever, just be, you know, gentle with yourself and, you know, just honor where you're at. And if you need support and help, get support and help.
mm,
But allow it to, yeah, allow it to be. Allow it to, I
yeah.
don't know, just to
Because
be part of.
when you go in there and when you really get in touch with who you really are, I think that you would be surprised with your absolute incredible magnificence and power.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think sometimes I know I've avoided it sometimes because it is so amazing. And then I go into it and I go, oh, but I, you know, can't think like that. I can't think that I'm amazing. That's a bit egoic and a bit weird and strange. But I think if you just sit with it and you don't get caught in the egoicness of it, right? Which, yeah, which can feel like, I know for me, can feel like a fine line sometimes, you know, and I just want to be just cautious with it. But I think when you truly sit in there, then it's a different feeling. It's not an egoic thought feeling. It's a different full body experience of okayness, I find, as
Yeah.
opposed to look at me, aren't I amazing? You know, it's not that sort of feeling. It's more
Everyone's
a
amazing. It's
well,
like,
that's right.
I'm amazing, I am. So are you. So is everybody listening. But I love the words that Ameed used in this regard, which was,
Right.
we need to fall in love with ourselves.
Okay.
So it's not just like ourselves. We're
Yeah.
okay. We're not
Yeah.
bad. You
Yeah.
know, we're
Yeah.
getting through. We're okay. It's a love. It's a real love, a real passion for ourselves. Like,
Mm, yeah.
you know, but in the same token, not loving ourselves so much, but not thinking we're better,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know, we're all from the same God spark. It's like recognizing that everyone is
Mm,
magnificent.
yeah.
And, it's that feeling of, you know, when you really, really fall in love with every part of you, the part of you that you usually don't want to show people, that's when you can really love others.
Mm,
Because that term is thrown around a lot. I love you, but who do you really love? Do you really love what that person's given you? Do you really love what that person
yeah.
has achieved? Do you really love, you know, what do you really love? But when you love yourself and every part of yourself, and you can see yourself in others, then you really love someone else.
Mm, yeah. And I think for me, it's been a tricky one, right? Because love has so many woundings to it, you know, where we've been loved and hurt and all that sort of stuff. I think the gateway I've found is what Ameed keeps talking to me about, and what we teach is that stability piece, and just sitting almost in that calm, peaceful space, you know, because that opens the doorway to that deeper love. And so then as you go through the door, I find you go into the space of okayness. I'm just okay. You know, I'm okay. Everything's okay. And then the doorway opens into that, often that deeper love, that it's like, just feel that almost joy, that yeah.
And then
Because
we can be ourselves. Once we have that, we can be ourselves. We can show up for what we really are.
Totally. Yeah.
Without pretending to be someone else or be like someone else.
Yeah. I agree. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
And so, I guess the message from today is to, no matter what's going on around you, no matter how fast things are moving, to find that center, to find, throughout your day, to make it a point just to, you don't have to call it meditation. You can just find stillness for a few minutes, throughout your day, just to stop, to center yourself. Just feel into your breath. Just make that. Just, if it's too much of a stretch to fall in love with yourself, how about you just start with finding your breath?
That's it. That could be the simple way, like I said, that's part of that gateway for me, because of the, loving self is too big, too much, or has been for me in the past, right? Still is to some degree. But being able to find that peace, that center, the stability just leads to that. It just allows you to be that. So that's what I love about it.
And it is possible for people to fall in love with themselves, though. It is. It really.
Totally. Absolutely. So I agree. I think
let's
it is
make
possible.
That our, that's where we're heading, so that we can love the world. We have to love ourselves before we love anything else.
Yeah, totally. We absolutely have to. It's time. It's time just to activate ourselves, and that's what this is part of.
That was so beautiful.
Activate that fullness. Was it? Okay,
so
cool.
much for bringing Ameed through. Like, I just feel like what I feel is happening in these episodes is that there's a relationship that's forming. So I'm more able to, between me. So I know you've had the relationship for a long time, but I'm able to connect in and all my questions, they just get to the heart of exactly what we're here to know. And it was interesting that, the two questions I asked, one was about authenticity and the second question is, well, what do you want to bring forward? And it was the same. So it was just more of the same. So it just felt very harmonious and beautiful. So
beautiful.
It's a true gift that you've got, and truly grateful that we had this opportunity to listen to and feel like I can feel the time where I wanted to to cry from absolute joy. So thank you so much for this opportunity. This is something we're going to be
thanks for the opportunity
every single week, guys. So please subscribe and be notified when we're live.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, it's great. And grateful to have the opportunity. I know they're grateful, and thanks for holding the space for it, Eleni. Appreciate it.